Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tell It Like It Is radio podcast on YouTube and my podcast, You Minding Your Own Business, along with a happier you leads to a healthier you. I'm your host. Y'all know who I am by now. I appreciate you guys for joining me for this episode. If you guys like the commentary on YouTube, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button to receive notifications of my videos. If you guys like the commentary on Spreaker.com, please become a member of my podcast. And you can also listen to the podcast on live. Now, I am a certified recovery life coach. It's all about helping people on their paths, their journeys, and their purpose to a new and better you through self discovery. I help people with different versions of recovery based upon the 10 podcasts that I have, and I have two more that I have not posted yet. My podcast is on iHeartRadio, Amazon, Spotify, Google. It's also on Cashbox and multiple other streaming companies, and you guys can check it out there. I wanted to first say I want to thank all of y'all who've supported me through my podcast and this journey that I've been on in this podcast because y'all have been phenomenal. Y'all have been rocking with me when I had throat issues, and I'm still going through throat issues, but y'all have been rocking with me, and I just want to take time to say thank you because I appreciate y'all. I do, because y'all have been very supportive of me through this journey, and I am so eternally grateful, which is why I try to do my podcast. Because like I said, I've had, trying to get guests on my podcast, and I'm trying to really get like Dear John or Dear, letters. So that way, if there's like a particular topic you want to talk about, or you guys want to be on my podcast, be one of my guests, if you want to just, tell me something you're dealing with as far as your health and wellness is concerned, or relationships, or critical thinking, common sense, and common judgment, or situations as far as financial, as far as any of those things that you have to deal with as far as recovery, then by all means, I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear from your letters. So you can reach me at asha.mariama01@gmail.com. That's asha.mariama01@gmail.com. Now, y'all probably wonder why my throat sounds the way it did, because I had a very bad, scary moment. I was drinking some cranberry juice, and the next thing I know, I started coughing, and it was really bad. So I know something is stuck in my throat, which is causing a lot of these problems. Luckily, next month, I have an appointment to see the ears, nose, and throat doctor so they can finally put something down my ears and down my nose to tell me what is going on as far as my ears, nose, and throat is concerned, because all three of them are being affected by it, as well as my breathing and sinuses and things of that nature. So I definitely want to get this checked out. So I'm trying to hang in there. Hopefully, I can get an early appointment, maybe, but we shall see. Now, this particular episode is all about health and wellness, as well as minding your own business as far as your health is concerned. And when I started choking, I was really scared I wasn't going to be able to breathe. And I mean, I literally spit everything out. And like I said, I know something stuck in my throat because I can feel it. Literally in my throat, I can feel it. Every single day, I can feel it. Every time I lift my shoulder up, I can feel it. Something's stuck. I don't know what it is, but I'll be glad when they get it out. I'll be glad when whatever it is. I think it's a pill, but this is why I don't do capsules anymore. And I really wish they'd stop doing capsules, because people are basically getting choked off, capsules. So I really wish they would just go back to tablets. I just think tablets are better because you can crush them and then chew them and then swallow them if you're people that can't swallow. So the way I look at everything is, now I look at things very differently. And so this particular topic is going spiritual. Okay. Now, when I talk about spirituality, I it's not about specifically being a Christian. It's really about every single solitary religion, regardless of what it is. And regardless of what you practice, regardless of what you believe, those are your beliefs. I'm not somebody that's going to sit here and say that Christianity is the only thing, and that the Muslim community is not something that's important, or any other religion. I'm not going to do that, because that's not for me to judge. But what I will say is this here: God does exist, and Jesus exists as well. And there's more than enough evidence to prove that. Now, for some of us, we're at a place now where we're deciding to go back to God at this point. We're at the point where we've always been godly people, but we've been led astray by the people that raised us. We've been led astray by the people who basically were supposed to be our parents. They were supposed to be guiding us in certain directions, and that just did not happen. You got people that are out here trying to do the right thing and trying to be the best version of themselves, and they're constantly being picked on and they're being bullied just because they're good kids, just because they're not violent and they're not somebody out here trying to cause a bunch of drama or a bunch of chaos. Then you got people that are being molested, young girls that are being molested, young boys that are being molested, young girls that are being preyed on. You got women that are being unalived every day just because of a date. You got women that can't even tell men no without them wanting to do something to hurt them violently because of the fact they said no. You got women that are being kidnapped and put into human trafficking along with young girls. So, all in all, we're in a world full of satanic nonsense. The thing about sex sells. So, I came to a realization that the one thing that I have to walk away from, that's going to be really hard for me to do. And well, I'm not even going to say it's hard for me to do, but because I really want to help people in this area, but I realize I have to stop, and that's my Kama Sutra nights. I got to stop doing it because it is technically secular. Now, I do want to help couples to pretty much, find their way back to each other, because I don't want people to get divorced. But until God tells me how to go about doing that, I may have to stop for now. Just until God tells me the correct way to go about doing this particular subject without it seeming like it's about, people just randomly having sex. Because I just did a video about Cam Newton, and he has 8 kids. And this woman interviewed him, and she said that Cam is going through abandonment issues, which I agree, because this man is out here having all these babies but not marrying none of his baby mamas. The man is scared of commitment. And Nick Cannon is no different. You have a lot of dudes out here that are marrying women, or they're dating women, or just having sex with women, and there's no commitment. And women are accepting this because of what them basing themselves on the man and not basing themselves on God. So, if God was really your husband, ladies, if God is someone that you believe is in your life, then don't you think that you shouldn't be having sex? Don't you think that you should be out here just being with anybody? I just want people to understand that I get it. I really do. I get it. Sex can be a very beautiful thing, but if you're doing it out of wedlock, then you're still dealing with satanic and demonic situations. Because if you think that there are not men that have demons on them and they don't feed in the 7 deadly sins, trust me, they do. And this is why I say soul ties are so important, because when you're out here and let's say a girl is a virgin, but this young boy is not. So I'm going to bring up a topic that's probably going to be a little bit hitting some nerves, but it needs to be talked about. I think that most young girls have their first child before 22. And that's just a fact. Majority of young women have babies before they turn 22 years old. And it's just the God's honest truth. Even though a lot of people don't want to talk about it, no, I think we should talk about it. Because there are a lot of y'all that have kids before you turn 22 years old, and you are running around having these babies, and you're not thinking about the fact that your life is never going to be what it was. So let me explain this. So if you have a man, that a young man in particular, that's telling a young girl that's a virgin, if you love me, you'll have sex with me, and if you don't, I'm gonna go out here and have sex with another woman. What do you think that young girl is gonna do? That young girl is gonna have sex with that young boy. Why? Because she doesn't want to lose him as her boyfriend. Well, at least she thinks that's a boyfriend. And after she has sex with him, he wants nothing to do with her. And then she gets pregnant. And then what's even more crazier is these young men think that because this girl has, birth control, he can take off the condoms. Now, everybody and their mama want to talk about black women made the wrong choice and black women made the wrong choice. Okay, how in the world is a young 16-year-old supposed to know what a good choice is when their father is no longer in the picture or was never in the picture to start with? How is she supposed to know what type of young boy she's supposed to be with if her daddy is not there to be her protector? Oh, y'all want to have that conversation, do you? Y'all ain't ready for that conversation, because then it's going to be a whole bunch of excuses. No, I'm not trying to even hear none of it, because honestly, y'all always talk about, well, women made the wrong choice. How can a young 16-year-old, again, supposed to know what type of men what type of young boys, opposite to the word boys, that she's supposed to deal with when her daddy is not an example? That's a question. How many women are telling their daughters not to have sex, but because they don't have their father there to basically confirm it, because they don't have an example of what a good man is, wouldn't that be the reason why? Because maybe she's looking for love in a man instead of looking for love within herself. When you got your parents putting all these expectations on you and being entirely too strict, what happens? Your kids still end up going and doing stuff they have no business doing. So again, you cannot say a grown woman that already has a child chose wrong when she was under the age of 22. She knows nothing about young boys in the game that they play because she doesn't have a father to teach her that. So if she doesn't have a father to necessarily teach her that, how would she know? How would she know? She wouldn't. And that's the thing about it. She wouldn't. So you can't sit up here and say that a young boy that has been told not only by women, but also by men. Now I'm gonna get to. I hadn't gotten to that part yet about the brothers yet. I'm just talking about her as far as her father, because I'm gonna get to them brothers in a minute. So at the end of the day, if she doesn't have an example of what a real relationship looks like between her and her father, or her and her, as far as her mom and dad, what does she have? So let's say, for example, the mother is a good mother, but she works hard every day, goes to work every day, and is not really able to be there for her the way she's supposed to because of the fact she works. So she has no idea what her child is doing. At the age of 12, they're left alone. It's one thing when they're in daycare, but it's a whole nother thing when 12 years old, your child is by themselves. What do? They sneak the boy in the house either while you sleep, or they bring him while you're not at the house. So she's sneaking this boy in the house, and this boy is telling her how much he loves her, how much he wants to be with her, even though he don't a bit more got a job than the man in the moon. Don't get no job. See, you have to understand, in high school, it ain't, in junior high and elementary school, it ain't about them having a job. So I need y'all to understand, how is a 7-year-old supposed to know what type of little boy that she's supposed to date when she doesn't have a father that's going to be her protector to say, "Nah, baby, you shouldn't be out here like that." But let's get to the brothers, since you brought that up. How can her brothers, who are out here having sex, with as many females as they can? This girl is seeing females coming in and out. Are they going to be a better example? No. Because they're told to go out there, not only by their fathers, but also their mothers. Because you got mothers out here that they're more so the girlfriend than the mother. They're more so the wife than the actual little girl is. And then when this little girl gets pregnant, what happens? Oh, she on her own. He don't got to pay child support because he's under the age of 16. So if he doesn't have to pay child support because he's under the age of 16, who gonna pay it? Who gonna pay it? The mother certainly ain't going. They not gonna make the mom pay it. Now I know in some states they do that. They do. If the child is under the age of 16 and he can't work, then yeah, they do make the parents pay the child support. But not in every state. There are girls getting pregnant under the age of 14. There are girls getting pregnant under the age of 8 as soon as their period come on. So not only are you dealing with young boys, you also got older men preying on little girls. And where is daddy at when all this is going on? You got men that get custody of their kids and then turn around and give them right back to their trifling baby moms. Give them right back to them. And then turn around and this child is now gone because you gave this child back to the baby mama knowing she on drugs. But because you don't want the responsibility of having the child, you decide, I'm just going to give him back to their mama. I don't care whether or not she high or not. I can't deal with these kids. I'm going to give them back. Man, come on now. I know there are some men out here that are phenomenal when it comes to raising their kids, and they have raised their kids very well. But you're not going to tell me eventually you're not going to get a female to come in and raise them kids, especially if she was unalived and he got custody of them kids. Yes, you best believe there's going to be somebody there taking care of them kids. Whereas a woman, that's not the same equation. So again, if a young man is about to play basketball and about to go into the NBA and the NFL, you really think they're going to let that girl stand in the way of him going to the NFL? No. So this girl is pretty much on her own because he can't take care of the child because he's 16 years old. The mama's not going to take care of the child because she's going to feel like it's not her responsibility to take care of the child. I didn't lay down and have this baby. You laid down and had this baby. But if you think they're going to stop that young boy from going to college, absolutely not. If you think that they're going to have him marry that girl, absolutely not. They're not. But the problem is this here. Girls are told to be abstinent. Boys, unfortunately, are not. And that is where the problem is, right there. There is no reason why young girls and young boys between the age of 8 years old or maybe even younger and the age of 22 having sex. It shouldn't be like that at all. So no, I disagree. I think that young boys and young girls should be virgins until marriage. I disagree with that. I don't think no young girl should be out here having sex at the age of 8 years old. I don't think no grown man should be prowling on a girl twice his age, old enough to be his own child. Absolutely not. I disagree with it. I think it's a terrible idea. I don't know why men feel like they need to prey on a young girl, but yet when a woman does it, oh my God, it's a whole nother issue. So when a woman goes after a younger man, even though it's more accepted by men, it's not accepted by their mamas. It's just like that one teacher that was on OnlyFans and they found out about it. She lost her job because the women had an issue with their husbands going on OnlyFans. That ain't got nothing to do with her. How in the world did somebody find out she was on OnlyFans in the first place? So, like I said, when it comes to this secular world, you have women, young girls, that are out here smoking ganja and drinking and doing all this other stuff because their parents are never home. Their parents are not paying attention to them because they got other siblings. And then not only that, the oldest one is the one that's got to watch the younger ones while their mama go to work. So at the end of the day, you want to know why these mothers now are not raising these kids? Because they told them not to have sex. They told them, look, if you have this child, you on your own because you're gonna be taking care of this kid. I got pregnant. That's exactly what mama told me. You gonna be taking care of this kid. You gonna be raising this kid because I'm not raising him. Now, if you got to go to work, I'll watch him. If you got some, every now and again, I'll watch him. But I'm not keeping him because he's not my responsibility. Honey, my mama did not get my son until graduation. And she made the choice to come get him. So it wasn't until graduation that she decided she wanted to come get him. Because I was going through health issues at the time. So, like I said, nobody knows what people be going through. But again, you got a lot of girls that get pregnant before they turn 22. And the boy gets to basically skate off scot free. Yeah, I know. It is sad. Okay, I'm getting to that. Okay. Now, the ones that have their daddies, like me, I have my father. Okay, there's two equations with this. Either the child is not biologically his child, or it is. Now, we're going to get into kids unaliving their parents because that's where I'm going with this. Okay, you got parents that give their kids everything. So I'm about to agree with you on this part because there is no excuse. Okay, you got dads that literally are there and moms that are there, and they'll tell their daughter that this boy is not going to be no good and that they shouldn't date that boy. And that little girl, because of the fact she wants to date him, and mom and them are like, no, she gonna do it anyway. And a lot of times this happens around the age of 13. So this is more so the rebellion period between 13 and 18. So what happens is these little girls go to school, right? And this is why I have a problem with a lot of these parents when they put makeup on these little babies at 3 years old, put them in these pageants. I don't even know why they went that young when it comes to pageants, but I wish they didn't. Because if I think about that, I think about John Benet Ramsey. So anyway, if a child, male or female both, has both of their parents, both of them gonna rebel. But here's the thing though. Boys always get treated differently than girls. They do. Girls are the ones that have to be the ones to not get in trouble. Boys, when they get in trouble, it's every excuse in the book. I don't care if both parents in the house or not. It's always going to be that way. Boys are allowed to go out there and date. Man, you have no idea how happy a father is about his son getting his first for JJ. Trust me. They high five them, even though the mom, how you doing? Even though mom was like, you gonna talk to him about this? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. and then give them high five. We ain't doing that because I already know. But when it comes to their daughter, she can't be out there having sex. She can't even go to no parties. They are more stricter on their daughter than they are their son. Even though both of them should be strict, but no, it ain't like that. So now you got a young lady that's either spoiled and entitled, or going or basically going through a lot at home. And I'm talking about mentally, verbally, emotional, spiritual, sexual, or either physical abuse. So I'll give you an example, and I'm gonna use a story on oh god, what story? Where did I get it from? The reference is the ID channel, and I think it was on Snap, and I think it was on For My Man or Fatal Attraction. One of the two. All right. You had a young lady that basically unalived her mom because her mother told her she couldn't date a boy, right? So at first, everything was cool. But then the mama started noticing something about this boy wasn't right. And she was like, no, you can't date him. You're too young to date. She gets pissed off. And so now her and the boy decide they want to unalive her mother. So they unalive her mother, and then eventually they both end up going to prison. Long story short, I've heard multiple cases where I have seen young girls unalive their parents for a young boy and end up in jail. So, yeah. So that's pretty much society. Absolutely right. Because what we don't understand as parents, your kids are being influenced by other kids that are not raised by you when they're in public school. Okay, even in private school, even in boarding school, these kids gonna have some type of hatred towards their parents because they sent them off to boarding school. Man, the kids that go to boarding school are the worst ones of all. These ones that go to private school and you think private school is better? Private school is worse. Cause private is something. Cause when you talk about private school, man, private school is a whole lot worse. Cause especially the ones where they have the nuns, man, them girls be out there buck wild. I remember the Breakfast Club, and then I remember what was it? Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Man, when Sarah Jessica Parker and they went to that private school and they had the nuns, I remember that distinctly. But what I'm saying is, you don't know who's influencing your child. So even though you ain't there, your child is still being influenced. It's just like with Vanessa when it came to the makeup. If it wasn't for that makeup that couldn't be removed, I don't think Claire would have ever found out. Her mama Claire specifically said, "Do not wear makeup until you 15." What did she do? She let her. And at first, she was like, "No, I can't do that. My mama told me no." You know your mama told you no, and then you turn around and do it anyway because your friends are peer pressuring you to go against your parents. I'm going somewhere with this spiritually, so just hold on. So it's the same thing with Vanessa when she liked Rob, right? And he came to the birthday party and she was dancing with him. And then there was one episode where her grades was slipping and Cliff and Clarence said, nah, y'all need to take a break. Y'all been around each other. Y'all don't get no work done and your grades are slipping. Absolutely not. So again, her grades was slipping. His was improving. And that is a problem with girls. We have this habit of doing that. We'll sit there, even in elementary school, we do it. We'll sit there and we'll build a boy, and our grades end up slipping. It's always been like that. I don't know why, but it just is. Even in college, we do it. Our grades slip, their grades improve. How is that possible? Because you boy crazy. So again, it is no different than you have a situation where you hang around a bunch of friends and they out there smoking ganja, and you like, I don't smoke, I don't drink. And instead of you saying, I don't smoke, I don't drink, stand on that, nope, you end up drinking. Even though you don't drink. And now you are up here drinking and smoking. And even cigarettes. So yeah. So what does that mean? If you're gonna go against your own parents, then you're doing the same thing when you go against God. You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing, because when you go against your parents, you go against God. Now, for some of y'all, I can understand why. Because some of these parents are off the chain. Some of these parents are abusing their kids. Some of these parents are mistreating their kids, which is the reason why they're bullies. So I get it. There's two different people. You got parents that actually care about their kids, and their kids are being defiant because you're telling them at a certain age they can't do what they want to do. Because you got to remember, when your kids are babies, it start there. It start right when they're babies. So when you got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old that want to climb to go get them cookies, and you like, no, you can't have them cookies. And they were like, but I want the cookies. You can't have the cookies. So you walk away. Next thing you know, they done pulled up the chair, climbed in the chair, and went and got them cookies. Problem is, they can't figure out how to get down because now they're stuck. So now they got the cookies and can't figure out how to get the cookies down there without you knowing that they don't went up there and got the cookies. So now they stuck. So either they gonna fall and bust they behind, or they gonna start crying because they can't get down. So you come in there and you be like, you cannot be serious. Didn't I tell you not to go up there and get them cookies? I told you not to go up there and get them cookies because you weren't gonna be able to get down. No, you want to climb your butt up here anyway. I'm gonna leave. I should leave you right here. But you can't do that because that wouldn't be right. So you gotta take them down. And even if you sit down and talk to them and tell them, look, you can't get up there and get them cookies, they still gonna do it again. Why? Because they gonna figure out how to get down out that chair. It's just like when you tell your kids, don't go over across the street. Nah, they gonna go anyway because they gonna want to know what's over there, and try to be curious to figure out what's over there. Isn't that what Adam and Eve did? Adam and Eve did the same thing. When God said, do not mess with that tree. And the serpent said, what you mean? Why you don't want to go over there and mess with that tree? Because God told me not to. Did God explain to you why you shouldn't have ate it? No. Well, let me break down why you should go ahead and eat it. Because you're going to be just like him, not understanding that ended up making death. That part. That was the reason why God said, do not eat the fruit. Because when we started when we realized we were naked, it also depleted our time of living. That's why God said, don't eat the fruit. Because then, like he said, you will die. And everybody don't never pay attention to that part where God said, you will die. And nobody understood what that meant. It means that Adam and Eve had eternal life. They would have never died. So if they'd have never messed with that fruit, we would all be able to live forever. But we can't. So when they ate that fruit, that's when you realize, okay, well, I guess there's a time limit. But everybody is so fixated on they were naked and they got kicked out the Garden of Eden. But nobody understood the real reason why God did not want them to touch that fruit was because if they would have ate the fruit, when he said, you will die, he wasn't kidding. He didn't say when. He just said you're going to end up having, a time limit. So that right there to me is going to be like, I ain't touching that thing. I ain't trying to die. But see, because we as men don't be paying attention, and we don't pay attention to a lot of the scriptures as we should, that was the first thing that came to my brain when I read it. I said, You shall die. Now I understand. And I've noticed that, between times in years, I've noticed it's got shorter and shorter and shorter per generation. It's gotten shorter because they lived to 900 and something years, over 1,000 years. And then it just got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Now people may not even live past 40 at this point. So that is the reason why it should be an issue. Because if Eve would have never, now mind you, if Eve would have been the only one to eat that apple, then Adam would have been able to live forever. But no, he ate it too. And every day y'all eating that fruit every single day. Y'all just steady eating that fruit. And you don't even understand you're depleting your life when you do. You are depleting your life by doing that. And that's the part people don't understand. When you get involved in the secular world, you are cutting your life short. Because you sitting up here following behind people that ain't gonna do nothing but shorten your life. Because there are consequences and repercussions and karma to your actions, choices, decisions, and behavior. There just is. And so that is the reason why now, when I make decisions, if it ain't something that God don't want me to do, I ain't gonna do it. Because I know that if I do, my life gonna be shortened. That's why I'm not gonna do it. So again, y'all are not reading these Bibles the way you're supposed to. Because the reason why a lot of things are cut short is because of negative behavior. So when you're running around doing satanic behavior, when you're running around with people that are non-believers, and I'm going to say it in the immortal words of algebra, negative and negative will always equal negative. Negative and positive will always equal negative. Positive and positive will always equal positive. This is what I want people to understand. If you get involved with a non-believer, you're going to get sucked into their nonsense. That's why when people used to say to me, oh, you don't want to go on there with Allegia? Absolutely not. I told y'all there was a reason for that. Because of energy. Man, do you not know when I went on live with that man for 4 days, I was sick? For 4 days, I felt absolutely horrible for 4 days. So y'all don't understand. If you don't know anything about energy and you ain't somebody that's a true godly person, you can feel energy on people. I do every single day. That's why I tell y'all, I stay away from people. I go off people's energy. I can tell when somebody positive and somebody negative just off their energy alone. Because if you don't pay attention to energy and you don't know that you can feel negative energy, you might hear me a lot say I rebuke negativity and send it from what it came. There's a reason for that, because I feel negativity somewhere and I don't have to be nowhere near you to feel it. You don't know how many days I was on these platforms and I felt negative energy and I was sick the next day and I felt horrible the next day. Seriously. So I'm not about to bring that negativity over here. So again, negativity can come from multiple different facets. So again, if you are a secular person, you got to stay away from that. You got to stay away from that negativity, because that is not healthy and that is not good for you. It will mess up your health and wellness in a way. It is no different than, like I said, what you consume can have a negative impact physically, mentally, psychologically, financially, and spiritually. So again, you have a lot of people now, especially men, that are now going celibate, and they're like, "Look, I ain't have sex till marriage. I ain't mad at them." Amarion's doing it. It's a lot of people that are like, "Look, I done been out here. It ain't worth it. I'm going back. I'm sorry. I'm going back to God. I'm gonna let God lead my life. I'm going back. I'm gonna get saved. I'm gonna let the Holy Spirit take over my life. And when you do, when I tell you, it's gonna change. Now, at first, it's gonna be a little bit rough. Why? Because you're still in between. So even though you're going back to God and you're doing certain things, there are gonna be other things you're gonna have to work on, and there's gonna be habits you're gonna have to break. You're gonna have to stop listening to certain things because of the demonic spirits that's in it, which is hard to do. I'm not gonna lie. It is hard to do that. The listening to music part, that's hard because a lot of us listen to R&B and hip hop. Gotta get away from it. Gotta get away from it. Now, even though it's on my computer, I still may not listen to it. Don't get me wrong. I love Christopher Maurice Brown, but in some aspects, some songs I can't listen to. Can't listen to it. When it come down to the way you respond to negative people, you can't respond to them the way you want to. Even though part of you want to cuss them out and drag them to the field, can't do it. Can't do it. All you can do is say, you know what? Okay. And keep on walking. Problem is they ain't gonna like that reaction. But then when they put their hands on you and you ain't got no choice but to put them hands, then you ain't got no choice. Because either your life or theirs. Like this one girl that got unalived because she beat another girl up and they end up unaliving her. Stuff like that. Sometimes it ain't worth it. It ain't worth fighting back. It ain't worth cussing nobody out because you may lose your life. But at the same time, it don't mean that negative people ain't gonna keep pushing and ain't gonna keep trying you until you do get pissed off, because they keep doing things knowing eventually it's gonna hit you, because eventually it is. And a lot of times you at home just praying, Lord, please get these people with me. I don't even want to be bothered with them, but yet they just keep bothering me for some reason. So that's why sometimes God will completely remove you from the situation. So again, at the end of the day, you're starting to see more people indoors, more people at home. You're starting to see more people that are just like, I don't want nothing to do with society standards at all. I don't want no parts of it. I don't even want to be bothered with. So you can't really be mad at it. So again, is it easy? That's why I said when you first get started to get back to God, you have to go through a sabbatical. And that sabbatical is not easy, because that sabbatical is you looking back at all of the satanic people that have messed up your life. And you gonna cry, because you're gonna be like, why in the world would I even deal with these type of people? Why in the world would I even associate myself with these people? Because you did. Because it wasn't about doing the right thing. It was about the fact that you want to be loved, liked, appreciated, valued. What you to be a part of something, to be validated, to be approved of, to be accepted, for somebody to know your worth, to prove something, to prove something to people and have people accept you. Not alone being people pleasing, seat fillers, got the same old Builder Bears and Builder Dolls. Not alone that. So what I want people to understand is this. We can sit here all day long and tell y'all certain things, but if you gonna listen, you gonna listen. If you ain't, you ain't. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I can lead somebody to water, but I cannot make them drink. That's just the way it goes. So no matter how much you might think somebody doing something wrong, it don't mean that they're gonna stop because of you. They're not. They gonna keep right on going. They don't care. Is it fair to you? No. But when it comes down to somebody affecting your life, there's many ways that they do so. So you can't allow people to sit up here and keep on putting you through the same chances, the same, situations. If they hit you one time, that's it. It ain't gonna be no more. Because you will not be calling me no more, because I'm changing my phone number. And then not only that, I'm not in no rush to let you come to my house. Like I said, it's a lot of people going through chronic pain and going through medical issues that they wish to God they can get rid of, and yet y'all worrying about whether somebody love you or not. When you got people going through real issues, you got people out here that's homeless right now. Nah, we good. We good. So I'm just trying to, make it clear. So like I said, you got people out here that just want to take everything you got. Every time they turn around, they get their hands out. Nah, bro, get out my face. We ain't doing all that. Go get you a job. My money is going towards helping people. Just like Bill Gates said, he giving up all his money except giving each one of them $10 million and some stock in the actual company. I promise you, if he pass away, all that stuff going to his ex-wife. His ex-wife gonna be running that business. I promise you that she is. She gonna be running that business because she's the only one that can. That he would trust to run it would be his ex-wife. So all I'm saying to y'all is, it happens all the time. It does. And like I said, it ain't worth all that. So like I said, nowadays when men talk about, can we have sex? No, we ain't married. What you mean? We ain't married. So we have to be married. Yep, we got to be married. Ladies, y'all need to go back to that tactic, because being over sexualized. Matter of fact, I got a video about that, being over sexualized. But I'm just saying, you got people like Cam Newton and Nick Cannon having all these babies, and these women just steady having these babies. Absolutely not. No. I ain't getting pregnant. I only want one. I got one. That's it. I don't want no more. All of y'all that's running around talking about I want 4 or 5 kids. Okay. And look where that got you. Because some of y'all ain't got a husband. Y'all got 4 or 5 kids. Some of y'all are really, really overworked and tired. So all I'm saying to y'all is be mindful when you make these decisions, and you better think about what come with that. The consequences, repercussions, and karma to your actions. Because those things are terrible. Hello. So I need people to understand that now, there are consequences. And there are just certain things that God can never forgive. And one is blasphemy. Blasphemy. And that is vanity. That is the one thing God don't like, is vanity. Another thing, when people that are sitting up here saying they the Messiah, I'm like, I will in no way, shape, or form, in any shape, form, or fashion ever say that I'm the Messiah. I ain't never gonna say that. Even if I did have people follow me, I still would never say that. I am not the Messiah. But don't get me wrong. I'm going to try to live my life that way. I'm going to try my best to help people in a similar way. But I know I can't heal the sick like that. Not just by touch somebody. I can't walk on water. I can't do none of that. But what I can do is build schools for children with special needs. What I can do is do stuff what I'm doing right now, which is teaching and praising God's name. That's the least thing I can do. I ain't got to be a preacher for that. I can just get right on here and talk about the Bible and sit right here and talk about the Bible and call it a day. I'm still doing church. I can sit right now all day and say, well, I can always say, and people say it all the time, they were like, I got my Cash App up, and if you want to donate, I ain't even saying that. It's already there. You can see it. I ain't got to say nothing about it, because here's my thing. If I'm saying something and somebody says, okay, I gave you a Cash App, I saw your Cash App up there, I'm going to go ahead and give you money. It shows that I'm, number one, I'm not begging for money. Because like I said, I can sit there and just put it up there. Some things you don't have to say. If somebody feels that you speaking something and you've saved their life or you've done something, and they say, here, I gave you $20 for your cash app. I appreciate you. And that's the point. I'm not getting on here begging. I can do the same thing pastors do. Get up here and talk about the church and have a collection plate running around here. I sure can. But for what? I'm not doing all of that. At the end of the day, like I said, I could write a book and get paid for it. So, like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh my God, this is going on, that is going on. It ain't worth it. If you, as a person, cannot respect my feelings and respect my wants and what I need, you got to go. I'm not worried about being alone because God is my husband. God is my best friend. God is my father. God is a lot of things. So until God says, you know what? This is the person I'm sending to you. I ain't doing nothing. But don't get me wrong. The devil hears your prayers too. And the devil can send you a succubus and you wouldn't know it. So at the end of the day, you don't know who or what is being sent. You will not know until you get to know the person, whether or not this person is worth your time or not. And that is not easy to figure out. So I'm chilling. I am minding my business. Because at the end of the day, whether I'm alone or whether I'm with somebody, I'll be just fine. Because again, even when you're married, you'll go against God. Even when you're in a relationship, you go against God. Because some people sitting in prison right now because they went against God and ended up with the wrong person and God didn't send them. The devil sent that person to you. You went looking. God said, look, you ain't got to go look for nothing. All I need you to do is just sit still and wait. All I need you to do is focus on getting yourself together and getting yourself prepped for your husband. I promise you're going to meet him. But sometimes it may take a while because the people out there ain't worth you. Not the other way around. If you're a godly person, then I am the prize because I'm a godly person. So why in the world would I think any other woman is going to be better than me? I don't. But what I have learned in these situations is I ain't trying to be a seat filler, captain save a hole, build a bear, and build a dog. I've learned now how I help people ain't got nothing to do with a dime of money coming out of my pocket or putting nothing in my name at this point. It is all about, I need $250 for what? Oh, I need $250 to do this. When am I going to get my money? Oh, you'll get, I want my money. Even if I don't want it immediately, you better start stacking up money. What's going to mean the world to me is even if you bring me $15 a month, even if you brought me $5 a month, at least you trying to pay back your money. The money that you owe me. So that's what I'm saying. So you don't know what the world, all of this is about. It's about the same way you disrespect your spouse when she tell you about them trifling dudes that you hang around with, and now them same trifling dudes just made you cheat on your wife. The same people that you sitting up there hanging around with, same ones that snitched on you, now you're doing prison for the rest of your life. Okay. So like I said, y'all keep thinking, oh, it's about having friends and it's about not being alone. No, it's about the fact you want people to come in my life and basically much destroy my life. So that way I got to go to the hospital and go to some type of therapy. And now I got to sit there with a person that basically is not helping me with nothing. That's why life coaches were created. Because life coaches can take what a therapist does and make you have to do the work. They gonna make you do the work. They're not gonna sit there and have you not doing the work. Oh, you gonna do the work because I'm not doing it for you. Now I'll be there with you, cry with you. I'll be all the way with you. But I still gotta get paid for my services because I still got a kid I gotta take care of. It's the same thing when it comes to jewelry and stuff like that. I got a whole bunch of jewelry in my drawer that I'm trying to sell that I'm about to get rid of, and I'm about to start posting the jewelry, and I have a website that I'm about to build for it, and it's also gonna have everything included. But like I said, I ain't gonna sit up here and be mad, because honestly, I'm kind of over it. So at the end of the day, you can't be mad at somebody because they choosing to say no. Mm-mm. It don't work that way. But I get it. So nowadays, you got to start getting to know people because you don't know if God sent that person or that person got some type of demon on them. I'm sorry. No. That's why now it can't be, I'm going to jump into something. No, we're going to be friends first and get to know each other first before I even go there with you. What you mean? I have to get to know you first. And that could take a couple dates if I choose to. So I don't have to deal with none of this nonsense that I just don't choose to deal with. I'm just not. So you can't be mad at me because I'm like, nah, I ain't dealing with this. Nope, I'm not dealing with that. Nope, I'm not going through this. Now I move in silence. You don't know whether I got money or not. You don't know what exactly I am. Because I've already dealt my issues. You can't hurt me with nothing from my past. Nothing. Because I've already acknowledged it. I've already dealt with it. So why in the world do you keep bringing up stuff that I did 20, 30 years ago? So they have right to go back and look at whatever it is they choose to. That's on them. But like I said, it's going to be really interesting to see how a lot of things play out. It's just like this YSL trial. This YSL trial should have been a mistrial. But because if they do it as a mistrial, that means they can't reconvict Young Thug at all. They can get the other ones, but they can't get him. And then not only that, the fact of the matter that the incompetence for me. And one of these days, I am going to talk about the YSL trial. I know. Wednesday gonna be the last day because Thursday and Friday they're gonna be off. They don't come back till Tuesday because the Labor Day is Monday, so they're not coming back till Tuesday. So yeah, it's insane. But the only way I could do the YSL trial is if I keep it covered and be y'all can listen to it. So that's the only way. But this trial should have been. And then the day when Woody said, y'all been pressuring me, I keep telling you that I lie. Well, that should have been the end of that conversation right there. That should have been like, you know what? You can go ahead and leave the stand because I'm over at this point. I'm over at this point. And then they said, I think a juror is going to be moving, so they have to get somebody else. And it's a lot going on. That right there tell you it's a mistrial. It's going to be a mistrial. It's so much stuff that should have been made this known that it's a mistrial. It's just not good at all. So like I said, it's insane when it comes to situations because you never know who or what, where they came from. And then a lot of y'all will sit up here and be side chicks. Don't verify nothing. Don't verify the real relationship. Don't verify nothing. Don't go talk to her. Don't go find out before you get involved with this man. Is he still with her? No, you ain't thinking to do that. You just think, oh, I'm just gonna take his word for it. Nope. If I don't see, matter of fact, I mean, he's a friend of mine. Friend of mine that showed me text messages between him and his ex-wife all the time. So that's how I know. That's how I know. I see text messages all the time of how much she can't stand him all the time. That's how I know. So at the end of the day, you'll know when somebody's not with somebody because it's just certain things they do. But I get it though. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. At the end of the day, like I said, when you are in the Holy Spirit and you are coming back to God, honey, it's not just you just coming back. You gotta work on yourself. You gotta heal. You gotta recover. You have to figure out what your new life is gonna look like, what it's gonna entail, and it's not gonna be as easy as you think. So again, like I said, none of this is easy, and it takes time. So that's what I'm saying. You don't know. So like I said, people ain't got time to sit up here and be bamboozled no more. People tired of being hurt. People tired of being manipulated, bamboozled, led astray, lied to, cheated on. Nobody got time for this no more. They don't. So yeah, it don't make sense. And then when when Woody said Woody said, y'all been putting pressure on me and y'all been telling me to say this and say that. Boy, when he brought up Glanville's name, I said, ooh. He done opened that door. Boy, if they have trial tomorrow, it's gonna be epic because I'm telling you, he is gonna say something about the ex partes. I know he is. Cause all of them is sick. I don't even know how many defense attorneys that there are. But I know every last one of them gonna be going after Woody in one way or another. And somebody gonna get him to say something. One of them is. And then what they gonna do? And if he finds out that he was and then the fact that he said he was going to take the fifth and didn't, and they wouldn't allow him to before he got that deal. Oh, they done at this point. All they got to do is prove that before Woody had the immunity, was he going to plead the fifth? And if he said he was, it's a wrap on that. But you know what Judge Whitaker gonna do? She gonna do the same thing I'm sitting here talking about. She gonna let this trial go on, and them prosecutors gonna continue to do what they doing. They gonna continue to sit right up there and continue to let this trial go on. And then if he gets a not guilty verdict, they still can't retry him. But what it is they try to get evidence from one case to another, and it just ain't happening like that. So what you think? So yeah, it's always gonna be some. Always. This case should have been a mistrial, but in September, Ryan still got to go up to the Supreme Court about Granville and Love and the other one. And they're going to be on that stand and they got to tell the truth, the whole truth. And Woody may have to testify in that too. And if he do, ooh, that's a different case right there. That's a whole different case. So as long as it ain't got nothing to do with anything else, they can't touch him at that point. Because when he go to Supreme Court, he can't lie. He can't lie. And I think and see, let me tell you something about one thing I learned. I learned about distractions a long time ago. I knew that as soon as Woody brought up Glanville, and being that they brought him up, Brian still can ask questions. She said if he bring him up, that was it. And then as soon as he got down to the nitty gritty of it, that's when they said something about that juror. Nah, y'all ain't playing my face like that. You are not gonna play my face. Because I knew in the back of my mind that was on purpose. That was on purpose. They knew that juror was gonna be leaving. So they ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't why they did it. They did, and then not only that, the cameras got cut off. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't cut the cameras off when y'all was going over this evidence? But yet and still, you gonna cut the cameras off because a juror, and I think it's like multiple jurors that said they are sick and tired because they've been on this thing for so long. And they said it was only going to be for 6-9 months. It's been longer than that. It's going to be a mistrial because these people are losing money. The jurors are losing money. So they gonna have to. They gonna like I said, it's gonna come down to more than one juror having to step down for whatever reason because they can't go to work. They can't go to work. They don't know when they're gonna have to be in court, considering they have to go over evidence every single other week. So I don't understand why when this judge came, why basically what should have happened was it should have been a mistrial anyway, and there should just been a whole new case. That's what they should have did. But see, they would have been able to try Young Thug, but they'd have been able to try everybody else. Cause Young Thug ain't got nothing to do with none of the stuff that's going on. And they still haven't proven racketeering, so or conspiracy, because everybody using is not even on trial. It don't make no sense. But this is just an example of what I'm talking about. I just hope if Young Thug does get a mistrial, I pray to God that he turns a new leaf. I really do. I hope he turns a new leaf. I hope he understands now that being in trouble ain't worth it. And him and Chris Brown just need to do a whole new album. He just need to get in the studio and do like Gunna did and just do his thing and call it and leave all of them dudes where they at, except the ones that was there for you. I think all these gentlemen have learned a lesson. I think all of them have learned a valuable lesson. You can tell how they be in there. They be like, Lord, I just wish I said. They be like, God, I wish I would have done it at this point. And that's how you be when you in court. You be like, I wish to God I wasn't in here. I don't know, whatever it is I supposed to did. I just wish I didn't do it all. That's how that works. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see with this YSL, case. Angry Arms? No, I never heard of it. Never heard of Angry Arms. But yep, it's gonna be interesting. But I think there's gonna be a mistrial before it's over with, because if these jurors are like, look, we ain't getting paid enough, we sick and tired, we can't work, and a lot of them gonna end up losing their homes. And that's why I'm saying this case has to be one of the weirdest cases I've ever seen. I have never seen a case where they're going over the evidence on live television. And I said this in a live. I said there should be a mistrial just because the fact they're going over the evidence on live. That means not only do we get to see it, the jurors get to see it. It's on live. It ain't like these people are in a hotel. They're at home, probably all on their computers. If not somebody else's. So ain't no telling what they saying. So at the end of the day, it makes no sense to me. Why in the world would y'all be discussing all this evidence and then turn around and playing it again when you're playing it on national TV? That makes no sense. That's like saying you want all of us to know what's going to be coming in. And normally how it works is when you go to court, you are supposed to know somewhat what evidence is being presented. So for example, if say for example the judge, and matter of fact, let me tell you how this is supposed to go. In most cases, the prosecution and the defense are supposed to do what's called a pretrial. And a pretrial or a mediator is when they get together and they go over all the evidence before it's presented. I don't know why in Atlanta they don't do that, but that's what they do. So pretty much any evidence, and what they do is they go over, it's like a trial where they go over the evidence that they're going to present same way, but it's not live. It's just pretty much private. So you don't know what evidence you're going to see. And so then when they go to court, it depends on how many people it is. So I have no idea. So all I'm saying is that's crazy. But yep, I ain't never even with the case I just seen with the girl that sat there and beat up that girl and ended up unaliving her, and they got both of them got 20 years. I didn't see none of the evidence until after before they even went on trial publicly, they went over all the evidence privately. So that's crazy. But we'll just have to see what happens, really. This situation is just gonna get more and more interesting as time go on. But yeah, I probably will talk about the YSL case. I wish I could have started it from the beginning. I didn't even know the case was on until like 2 months ago, when right before Glanville ended up getting recused was when I found out about it. But yeah, I might Friday. Well, not this Friday because I know they're not gonna be in court Friday. But the following Friday, I probably might spend the day and watch the YSL case. The only thing about it is we can't show it, but we can play it, just can't show it. So I don't know about YouTube whether that's the case or not. If not, then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to let it play, and then when it's when they're on break, I might do something where I might bring some people up and we have that conversation because this is ridiculous. I don't blame these jurors. I would be pissed off too. So that's crazy. It's always something, man. And this is why I say I choose to stay away from all this stuff because I ain't going to jail. I love my life a little too much for that. And that's why a lot of people are changing their ways because it ain't working for everybody. Some things that work for some people don't work for everybody, so they're choosing just not even be a part of that. They just are. But at the end of the day, people gonna be who they are regardless. They just are. So at the end of the day, for all y'all females out here, matter of fact, let me see if I have it up. Nope, I don't. I have to log in. Give me a minute. Which one is it? I gotta remember which one it is because I don't even remember. I don't even remember which one it is. Might not be the channel. I know for a fact it's not. Hold on. Maybe one that I may have to log that I got rid of. Hold on. Hold on. I know this ain't. No, this one of my old channels. No. I'm gonna log out of that one because that's not the one. I can't remember which one it is, but one of my channels, I have to swear I have a code. I think I'm coming down with something. But anyway, um, it was a video that I respond. It wasn't. It was more or less. I saw a video, I couldn't stitch it, and so I decided to respond to the video because somebody was saying something about being in a relationship, and I said I don't care if you're in a relationship or not. Women still gonna be by themselves. Because I mean, if you look at what Cam Newton is saying, this is my point. A lot of these men are just focused on other things except what they need to do. So I don't know. We shall see. But I am getting ready to go to bed and get some sleep. I just want to come on here for a little bit and just say to people, look, your health and wellness is very important. The whole reason for money is your health and wellness. So let me explain how I'm going to put this delicately. You got rich people that can go where they want to and do what they want to, and they don't have to work a regular 9 to 5 job. And yet you're working a regular 9 to 5 job. You're not supposed to be working a regular 9 to 5 job the rest of your life. You are supposed to have your own business, your own brand by the time you turn 45. You should not be working for nobody past 40. Now, you should be able to build a business off this. So, now y'all can feel a little bit at ease. So, that's the way it's working. So, what I'm going to do is get ready to go to bed because I'm tired. I think I have a cold. After that cough, now my nose is stuffy. So, all I'm saying to y'all is when you have money, stop spending money on stupid stuff. Stop spending money on stuff that you ain't never gonna wear and you're never gonna deal with. Cause I'm starting to do that now because I bought a humidifier that doesn't even work. I gotta throw it out. Um I have things that I'm about to start using that I bought that I haven't used that I really do need to use. So I'm getting ready to use it because tomorrow I'm going to use my little hula hoop thing that I bought that I never used but one time because I couldn't get the hang of it. But I'm about to use it tomorrow. So there's nothing wrong with that. So, like I said, you can do only what you can do, and that's it. Other than that, just I'm trying to say the word, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's always something. Always. And that's why I said you gotta learn how to pick your battles wisely and by picking the people who you want to battle against or battle with. Because either way, love is a game, love is a battlefield, point blank. So there you go. So with that being said, I think that's it for me. But take the money you got, focus on your health and wellness. If you have health issues and you start a business and it starts to make money, go out of the country and go get treated. Go get treatment. Please do. If you have HIV and you know somewhere where they can cure it, please go. Don't put that off. So there you go. That's how I feel about that. All of that. So with that being said, at the end of the day, if you're going to be a person of God, you got to get rid of the secular things in the secular world. And that's going to be the hardest thing to do, depending on whatever it is that in the secular world the thing you love or the thing you're addicted to. So it's not that simple to just say, okay, I'm just going to let go of all of these things. No, it's not that simple. And why do I got I noticed something. I've noticed I have small little bumps on me, and I do not know where they came from. They started on my leg, and now, I have them on my leg, and now I have them like on my stomach now. I don't even know where they're coming from. And they're just small. I'm hoping I ain't got chicken pox. Please, Lord, no. Well, they're not itchy, but I can tell. And I definitely need to go to a doctor and have this looked at because I don't know. I don't have them on my arm right now, but I just have them like on my legs. I have them on one side of my legs, and I have them like small little bumps. I do not know what they are, and now I have them on my stomach now. The same little bumps, and I don't know where they're coming from. So I may have to go to the urgent care tomorrow and have them to look at them and see what they are and see if they are. I hope it's not poison ivy, but I don't think they are because they don't feel like poison ivy. They don't feel like chicken pox. They just feel, and they don't itch. They're just there. So I don't know. Maybe I might have, yeah, but they're all on the same side of my stomach, and I may have to have this looked at to see what in fact this is and find out what it is. Because not on my whole entire leg, it's just on spurting spots of my legs. So I don't necessarily know what they are. But like I said, it's just in specific spots. They're not like all over. They're just in specific areas. So I haven't really looked at them, but yeah, I'm starting to see them, especially on my stomach. They're there, and they're not even on the other side of my stomach. They're just on one side. So I'm gonna go maybe tomorrow and have my friend come by and have him look at these and see what they are. Because I mean, I notice I have them all on the left side of the left side of my stomach, and I have them in like the inner side of my thigh, but I don't have them like at the bottom. They're just like in weird places. So I don't know. Maybe it's something I'm allergic to, maybe. But I hope they're not poison. I hope it's not poison ivy or anything like that, because that wouldn't be good. So I'm gonna have a doctor look at it and see what in fact it is. Because again, I don't have it on the other side. I don't have it on my arms. I don't have it on the right side. I don't have it really on the outer part of my leg. No, I just have it mainly on small little spots in my legs and then mainly on my stomach. So I have no idea what this is. So I might have to try some alcohol. We'll see what happens. So with that being said, I'm going to go get ready to go to bed. But I thank y'all for joining me for this episode. I appreciate y'all. So I might just put on both my podcasts and call it a day. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Without y'all, there is no me. I'll be nothing without y'all. So with that being said, I'm off to bed. Y'all have a very, very big, beautiful night. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button to receive notifications of my videos. I didn't even realize it was still early. It's like dark here, and it's already 8:36 here. I thought it was later than that. I really did. I thought it was a lot later than what it is. So, with that being said, I love y'all. I'm going to sleep. But yeah, I'm going through that phase now where I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff and changing a lot of the ways I do things. And yeah, it's going to seem very boring. It is. And I'm going to tell you now, sabbaticals are not easy. Spiritual sabbaticals are not easy. I'm telling you, it's a lot that go with it because I'm currently going through it now. But I'm telling you, it's not easy because in order for you to be a new and better person, it's not just about losing weight. I learned some in recovery of my own that I'm currently dealing with, and I learned that with recovery, it's not about the fact of just losing the weight. It's about maintaining the weight. It's not about what you obtain, it's about what you maintain. And if you don't maintain the weight, then there's no point of losing weight. If you go through a bad relationship and all of a sudden you're gonna start getting the weight back, that defeats the purpose of it all. So it's about losing weight and then keeping the weight off of you. That's pretty much what it's about. So I just want people to understand that the journey is not easy because you have to give up a lot. But it doesn't mean that you have a boring life, because you certainly don't. But a lot of people believe that because the fact of seeing, you're always at home, but that doesn't mean that my life is boring. It just means that I have nobody to share my life with. But it doesn't mean that it's boring. So with that being said, I'm off to bed. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I definitely have a lot to work on because I myself am changing and transitioning as well. I mean, I can listen to songs, but now I listen to songs that have meaning. I love Afro beats. I listen to Afro beats now more so than I do. I don't even listen to rap at all. I don't. I don't listen to it at all. Some songs I listen to, but again, here's the kicker of it all. Just because I listen to it doesn't mean I consume it. Meaning that I can listen to it and it doesn't bother me at all. with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Without y'all, there is no me. I will definitely be nothing without y'all. So, with that being said, I'm off to bed. But again, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button to receive notification of my videos. I'm gonna look that up. What angry arms are? I'm gonna look that up to see what that is. And for y'all on my podcast, don't forget, if y'all like the commentary, you can always come live. But you also can become a member of the podcast as well. Hopefully, and if any sponsors are interested, you can email me as well, because I would love to have sponsors. I have some people that I do want to do interviews with, from them that I didn't get a chance to do interviews with, so I will be getting with them. Matter of fact, I have a book that I got to read for somebody that wants me to basically come on my show and have a conversation. So I'm really excited about it. It's an ex NBA player. He reached out to me. I have to read his book, so I'm gonna take the time to actually read his book while I'm on hiatus, as far as doing a lot of content. I'm gonna still be doing my podcast, but I said I might have to slow down because of my throat. But I am gonna get it done. So I will be doing 30-minute just my podcast. I might still do some morning inspirations, but that'll be about it. I'm focused on trying to finish this book, and I'm focused on a few other things that I'm trying to do. So again, change comes with growth, and you have to learn from your mistakes, and you have to learn to be the best version of yourself despite it. So even though I don't feel good right now, I don't know what the world going on. I was fine until I started coughing. So I'm getting ready to get some rest and get some well-deserved sleep. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Um, I really do. So hopefully I'll be able to put both of these on the podcast. If not, I have to go through StreamYard, and do the second one. So that being said, I am off to bed. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But like I said, going back, trying to be a part of what's going on is not easy. It's a lot of work. It really is. So with that being said, I'm out of here. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out.